In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Crypto fam, it's your boy CryptoKeeper and the one and only BlockchainCrusader. How are you doing, Miguelito? How are you doing, bro?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
I am freaking pumped. It is Wednesday. We love the What If Wednesday. So if you guys have never, if it's your first time in here, all right, smash the like. If you're in the live chat and you're on mobile, just X out, hit the like. You can come right back in. Takes 2 seconds. That tells YouTube that you like what we got going on. But I just want to throw out there, What If Wednesday, if you guys have never been here for this, we try to take topics that are polarizing in the crypto space. Sometimes they're a little bit tinfoil hat-ish, if you will. And sometimes they're just, straight up like, hey, what if this is what's happening right now? So Miguel, right off the rip, what is on the podium this evening?
What if this is the bottom, right? What if this is the best buying opportunity we're going to see in a long time? What if this is the last time Bitcoin is in the 40,000 range? We're going to be discussing that tonight.
Man, I am looking forward to it. Guys, if you have not subscribed, make sure that you do your thing there. And just as a reminder, we are giving away 1 full year of Market Cipher. So if you guys are looking for a fantastic indicator, Market Cipher is where it's at. All the information is down below in the description. If you're trying to get into FEMEX or do some trading or whatever, just trade at your own risk, guys. Understand this stuff is dangerous, but if you're going to do it, Market Cipher is where it's at, and we're giving that away. So all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, which if you're in the chat right now, it looks like you are. And then secondly, sign up for the Academy. We've got debatecrypto.academy. It's a place where a whole bunch of people are learning the crypto space. We've got Crypto 101. We've got all sorts of stuff going on there. Weekly private seminars. I'm not going to keep getting into that, but guys, we would love to have each and every one of you. So come on over. So, Miguel, let me kick it off with a little bit of a market watch. So if you could take me on over. We've got, guys, listen, right off the bat, okay?
Nothing but red.
We're down 6.27%. There's nothing else you can say besides, yeah, that sucks, right? But does it? And we're going to get into that tonight. So Bitcoin's down almost 6%, ETH down 7.25%, Binance Coin down 8%, Solana 9%, Cardano 7%, XRP about 7%, Terra about 8%. Guys, the list goes on. I could literally run down this whole thing and all you see is red, except for, stable coins and whatnot. So, Miguel, let's right off. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me jump over to the TradingView here real quick. Let's take a look at what Market Cipher's got to say. Guys, Market Cipher has a little...
Make your screen full screen.
Okay. Is that better?
There you
go. Let me zoom in a little bit too. All right, so Market Cipher, guys, check it out. When you have these yellow X's, these big yellow X's, okay, what you need to know is those are calling market manipulation. And generally, when you see those yellow X's with a red dot below them, you're going to see a dump. And guess what? Huge dump right here. This is on the 4 hour, okay? So earlier today, if you didn't see, we had huge dump and then another huge dump. I mean, we wicked all the way down to, just below just below 43, I think, is where we got down to.
I think we hit 40, like right above 42, high 42.
Yeah. And so, that can be scary, right? Another thing is down here on the MACD. If you check out the MACD here, we went from, I don't know if it's hard for you guys to see, but we went from dark green, which is basically bullish, to just bright red, dark red, which is literally going from a straight bullish case to whoop, totally opposite there, right? Now, there's a couple good things here, right? There's light at the end of the tunnel, and one of them is that the RSI is all the way down at like 25 right now, which is incredibly, incredibly oversold, which if you've looked into any technical analysis, that can be a very good indicator that things need to turn back around or are going to soon.
Yeah,
So
even if it's a dead cat bounce, we're gonna have to have some type of relief rally from this
yeah,
price point that we've dropped so heavily.
yeah. I mean, we're at 43. We're at 43.3 right now, and the reality is 42 is the number, right? That's the big number where analysts, where people are saying, hey, we need to hold that, right? And so I'm hoping that we hold the line there. But let's talk about it. So tonight is, what if the bottom's in? Well, before we get into more of what if the bottom's in, let's talk about the bottom, Miguel. Why do you think, like just after kind of looking at a quick recap, what's causing some of the turmoil here, so to speak? Like, what's going on?
Well, we've had two major events today that have been causing what the big drop, right? One, people know the basics of it. You know, the Fed minutes, that whole thing came out, right, with the Federal Reserve. But another one that a lot of people have not been paying attention to is Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah,
And if you're hearing this name, you're probably like, what the hell is that place? I don't know anything. What does that have to do with Bitcoin? Well, they've actually become the third biggest Bitcoin miners since China got rid of Bitcoin mining. And they recently, on Sunday, I believe it was, they started to increase the prices of all energy consumption, and has led to massive rioting in the streets. The internet has been shut off. So that has caused a 12% hash rate drop in Bitcoin, which
that's a
is a
big deal.
negative for Bitcoin. It's a big deal, right? So them being the third largest in the world of hashing power, and they've gone offline because
Yeah.
of this problem, has definitely caused a lot of turmoil for Bitcoin, and it's caused uncertainty, right? Because it's increasing in the stock market. We're seeing the prices of uranium and other energy stocks also being affected by this. So it's causing uncertainty in the stock market because it's leading to more political turmoil, right? People are protesting in the streets.
Yeah.
They're calling in Russia. They've been calling Russia to send help with the military. So a lot of turmoil has been
Yeah,
happening.
let me pull this up real quick. I'll show it to you guys. So if you can click over here, Miguel. I just pulled this up. So
Yeah, just make
uh
your screen full screen. Okay,
Kazakh. I
thank
was
you.
trying to help out the TikTokians as well, but no no worries. Can you see it okay, or do I need to zoom
Yeah,
in?
yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Good. All right. Kazakh Bitcoin mining scene hurt following energy riots, internet shutdown. Protesters stormed public buildings on Wednesday, which was followed by the announcement of a possible dissolution of parliament. I'm just going to touch on a couple things real quick. Bitcoin mining found a home in Kazakhstan after China's clampdown in the industry last year. It was second only to the US in energy devoted to crypto mining, according to Cambridge University, accounting for 18% of the global total as of August. Protesters stormed public buildings on Wednesday, which was followed by the government announcing a possible dissolution of parliament. The country's largest telecommunications provider, Kazakh Telecom, shut off internet access throughout the country, which will leave mining companies without the ability to mine. Miguel, let me ask. So, well, I shut it off there. I was trying to click it off there because somebody was a little slow on the uptake there. Um, what? First of all, I think it's flat out scary that a country can let's just shut off the internet. No big deal. Like what? You're shutting off the freaking it now. I understand the United States and Kazakhstan are probably two, totally different, a little bit different ball game there. But the reality is that's scary, right? Am I the
Yes.
only one that thinks that?
Yeah. So I definitely think, besides it obviously being a scary thing, right? They're just shutting down the internet and all the crap that's happening there. I think it's planned, right? I think it is a way to hurt Bitcoin. I think it's a way that they know, hey, this country, which is easily influenced, we can hurt Bitcoin in the short term, cause some craziness, and Bitcoin's price is going to drop, right? Because they said they're only third to, what was it, the United States, and what else? Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
see what the other one was, but yeah,
so they're not those countries. The United States isn't going to drop off the internet. And some European country is not going to drop the internet. So they're using this smaller country that they can influence easier, get the internet to have issues, and have turmoil in the streets with the citizens to cause this for Bitcoin to drop. I think it's very well planned that the same time this is happening, the federal minutes also come out talking about more inflation, and now they're spinning the narrative about, by the fact that Bitcoin is dropping and then putting out that there's more inflation, people expect Bitcoin as a hedge to inflation, but we're
Right.
seeing Bitcoin drop. Bro, we're talking about inflation at the same time. So I think they're trying to spin the narrative that Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation,
Yeah.
and they're timing these events very properly
Yeah.
for that narrative.
I agree with you, and some of what we're going to get into tonight is why all these things seem to be happening at the same time. And if we look back, we'll get into this in a couple minutes. But if we look back at history, history shows that a lot of this stuff, like when it happens, right? It's like
Yeah,
no news, no news, no news, or super bearish, 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 or super bullish, bullish, bullish. It's like there's never really any just kind of good mix of news. It's usually one-sided. You know what I mean? It's one way or the other. So that brings me up to the next article here. So ultimately, let's talk about the Fed minutes real quick, okay? So the Federal Reserve puts wheels in motion for balance sheet reduction. Now, I will tell you, I'm not going to go deep into this. I just want to talk about a couple different things here. The minutes from the Fed's December meeting indicated that officials are ready to aggressively dial back policy help. One key aspect, the central bank's balance sheet, was the subject of extended discussion, with policymakers pointing to a reduction in bond holdings in the coming months. Members expressed concern about inflation and said the jobs market is nearing full employment, which, by the way, I don't buy that for a second, but stocks slid following the release while government bonds rose. So, Miguel, when these minutes come out, right, it is basically showing, hey, where is the Fed at in the grand scheme of things? What's
yeah,
our money situation looking like, right? And it doesn't take a mathematician to understand that we are underwater. We are in some big
yeah.
trouble as it relates to our financial wherewithal and where we're at with the country, right? And so you and I have went back and forth a number of times talking about inflation, deflation, what's actually going to happen here. The reality is our government knew that at some point you can only kick the can so far down the road. And we're coming to a point where they're having to stand up and basically face the music. They're having to realize that, oh my gosh, like we probably can't push this further. And I see it happening before our eyes, right? We've seen it actually happening, but no one wanted to admit to it. No one wanted to talk about it, right? And I find it interesting that we've got Kazakhstan, shutting down the internet, right? All of these negative things happening with Bitcoin. And now all of a sudden they're timed just perfectly with the Fed minutes. And the Fed comes out and essentially says, hey, we're going to be raising interest rates, right? Bond yields and the amount of bonds that we're going to be buying are going to be drastically changing. Not just a little bit there, but they're going to be drastically changing. They didn't give an exact date, but they essentially said, "Hey, look,
This is somewhere in March.
right,
Last time they
they would
spoke.
start. Yeah, they said they would start in March. Actually, let me click back over here. Let me check that real quick. So,
Might
let's
not have
see.
said it in the article, but last time
No,
that
it
they
does. It does. It
okay,
says began plans to start cutting the amount of bonds it's holding, with members saying that a reduction will likely come after the central bank begins raising interest rates. While officials did not make any determination when the Fed will start rolling off the nearly $8.3 trillion in treasuries and mortgage-backed securities it's holding, statements out of the meeting indicated that process could begin in 2022, possibly in the next several months. And so, guys, for those of you that don't know, without going like too deep into it, the reality is this: any uncertainty, at least initially, on the side of the Fed, okay? Anything that's uncertain, anything that says rates could go up, right? Bond yields could be changing. Treasuries, we could be buying less and less treasuries, or we need to offload, we need to pay off anything like that immediately. The stock market erupts from it. And what happens when the stock market feels uncertain and feels some type of way? Initially, if not for a long time, but for a short period of time, the crypto markets feel it as well.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it. I will bet you that delay. They already talked about it when they had their meeting in December that they were gonna start in March to start raising interest rates. I bet you that they won't. I bet you that they'll delay it, or they keep talking about, they keep saying they don't give a specific number. They keep just talking about this drastic event happening, and it's not even gonna be. It's gonna be a nothing burger. They're gonna practically do nothing that's going to affect the actual level of inflation and just say, hey, we're doing something. And everybody's just psychologically being affected, thinking into the future that the Fed is going to do this big thing. They're not. They can't. They cannot take a big step away from inflation because that will throw the economy into an even worse spot. Uh, and at the same time, they're trying to do this, right? They've timed this event well, talking about inflation, and we're seeing Bitcoin dropping. So people instantly start to disconnect Bitcoin from a hedge against inflation and do not buy into Bitcoin, which is the purpose of this show today on Wednesday. Is what if this is the bottom, right? What if we're
Right.
actually closer to a bottom than we are to a top? And people are very scared right now, thinking that Bitcoin is just going to keep dropping endlessly,
Yeah.
and we are at a top, and we've been coming down, and we're going to continue going down. I do not think that. I do believe that we are closer to a bottom, and we're not going to be at 40 for much longer.
So let's talk about that. So first of all, chat, if you're in the live chat, if you could just X out, if you're on mobile, just X out for 2 seconds, smash the like, that'd be fantastic. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think we've still got lower to go. If you still think we've got farther to go, and I'm not talking about $500 or whatever. If you think we're going to drop below 40, put a 1 in the chat. If you think we're going to stay above 40, drop a 2 in the chat. And let me just start off with this. There are reasons. So what if this is the bottom? Okay. Now, when we say this is the bottom, we're not saying that, whatever what were we at, 43,000 and some change right now. I'm not saying like to the dollar, but what I'm saying is the range that we're in right now. What if it's the bottom? Well, let's talk about that. So right off the bat, let me first of all say this. Why should we be bullish? Okay. So there's a lot of on-chain metrics, and I want to pull one of them up that I thought was super freaking interesting. Let me see here. Where is it? It is right here. Okay. So this is something that I actually have never seen this chart before. Okay. This is called the Bitcoin paper hands ratio. So, Miguel, yeah, go ahead. Get the joke out of the way. You ready? Go ahead. Did you want to throw any shade at me?
I'll let it slip this time. I'll give
Man,
you a
what a
break.
guy. What
I'll
a
give you a
guy.
break.
What a guy. So check it out. So if you look closely, we have the dark green is the buy zone down here. If you can see my mouse down here, the dark green is the buy zone. Okay. The red is the sell zone, which is up here. Okay. And the blue that you're looking at is this blue right here is the paper hands ratio. Now you might ask, so what is this? Well, let me explain it. If the ratio gives a high reading, it suggests retail greed. But if it's low, it suggests the market is at retail capitulation. We are at 24.5% currently. That's the lowest level since the 2015 bear market. Every time the ratio has reached around 25% previously, it has sparked a multi-year bull market with incredible gains, which indicates that this fearful period could be a great buying opportunity based on historical data. So, Miguel, I have never seen this chart before, right? I think that this is a super, like, I don't know what the math that's involved in this. I'm guessing it's looking at short-term holders, people that are like, how long have the wallets been open, who's selling when, how much Bitcoin is in the, I don't know what the actual metric itself is, but from looking at it, after after that paper hands number was really low, there was big moves every time. Now, the one thing I will say that I don't agree with there is a multi-year bull market from
Yeah, I don't
here.
know. I don't know about that multi-year bull market scenario, but I do see, right, that is a huge indicator for when a rise is coming, right? When a rally is coming, whether it's multi-year or not, I don't know,
Yeah,
and shouldn't be really taken to that level of literal, because no indicator is perfect like that. They're not going to actually signal the best time ever. Because if it was that
right.
easy, then just look at that one indicator and you would always
That's
buy the
right.
bottom and always sell
Yep.
the top. And
Which
that, as we know it, no indicator is perfect. So
Yeah.
Um,
No, I totally agree with you. We wish it could be that simple.
yeah, I know, right?
The second bullish thing, Miguel, that I see, and maybe you can speak on this a little bit, is the media negativity. You know, in the
Yeah.
past, we alluded to this earlier. In the past, the reality is when you see a whole bunch of negative media attention, there's a word. If you're new to crypto, there's a word that you'll hear a lot. It's called FUD. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We're all about teaching on this channel, right? We want to teach you so that you can make better decisions in crypto. That's why we have the Debate Crypto Academy. If you guys are looking to get involved in a community that's ultimately teaching better ways to do this whole crypto thing, check us out on the academy. But that being said, when all of this negative news is out, it seems like it's FUD, right? It is a coordinated effort to hold Bitcoin's price down. Would you agree with that? That's what I've seen in the past.
100%. Right. 100%. There is coordinated attacks of media fear, FUD, right? Put out there to instigate lower prices for Bitcoin, lower prices for crypto. It's too much of a coincidence that it always happens. When we see FUD, it just escalates. It's a snowballing effect.
Yeah.
When we see bullish news, it just escalates into crazy bullish news. Right? And we haven't had that euphoric moment of bullish news for Bitcoin in this cycle just yet. So it keeps me thinking that we are way closer to a bottom than we are to a top here in this scenario.
Yeah, and then we had a whale yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before, but I think it was yesterday, the day before. It
Yeah.
was bought like $21 million worth of Bitcoin. Here's the thing, guys. When
Yep.
Miguel or I jump on, you know, they call the retail traders, they'll call you dumb money. First of all, I resent that. Okay. My feelings are so hurt. But I don't like that they call us dumb money, because the facts are this, right? When retail, the more and more and more that you immerse yourself into the crypto space, you pull out of that dumb money, right? Stigma, I think, or at least you should. Because if you can't, if you're engulfed in the crypto space every single day, or if you're in it quite a bit and you're studying and you understand what these metrics look like and you understand some technical indicators, you understand all these things, the only advantage that you don't have that the smart money has is the freaking dinner conversations that we talk about, right? A whale that's spending $21 million on Bitcoin, short of him just being just absolutely filthy rich and, you know, just wanted to do something cool to impress his girlfriend or whatever, generally somebody like that is going to have those connections, are going to know those people, is going to be at those dinner parties. And so
Yeah.
I think that just little things like that annotate something. And what is that? That something is that there's still room to grow, because ultimately these people are trying to make money, not just in the long term, but they're looking for short and medium term, you know, gains as well.
Yeah.
I
So
think
we
it's
have Ryan over here in the chat saying, I just don't see any big inflows of money coming into crypto. Well, I got something for you when it comes to
I
that.
got
So let me
I got
share. Let me share my screen.
I got something for you. I got something
Yeah.
for you.
So let me share you. Let me share my screen with you. So over here, this is a chart showing the selling pressure from Asia, right? As you can see here, massive amount of selling pressure in the later months of 2021, right? Now entering 2022, that has completely steeply declined. And we actually have a tiny little green bar right here, right at the beginning of January now. That means all this selling pressure on Bitcoin is gone. And now we're going to be seeing, as you see in every other chart here, every time the red goes away, we have green buying, right? So we have green
Mhm.
charts coming here that showing that Asia is going to start buying up some Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing Bitcoin's price go up. But this is not all. This is not all I have. I have another one for you guys over here. Let me scroll up, guys. Look, this for all of you guys panicking out there. This is what you need to do. This is for you guys. But let me find what it is I want to show you. Uh, Boom, here we go. So this goes and shows you the illiquid supply of Bitcoin. Look at how, and this is the, all this golden bars are the illiquid supply. So we have a massive increase of illiquid supply for Bitcoin.
Explain that, Miguel, to the beginner that's in the chat and says, "Well, wait a minute, what's a liquid supply?" Explain that.
Yeah. So illiquid supply means it's supply that is taking out of the circulating supply. So it's not on exchanges. It is put into cold storage, is put away. People are just holding on to that Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is not circulating. It's not being bought and sold over and over. It's just being put somewhere, whether it's cold storage or a hot wallet or whatever, and just left there.
Okay.
Uh, so we're seeing the Bitcoin's illiquid supply increasing, meaning there's less and less Bitcoin available on exchanges and anywhere on the market. And at the same time, we're seeing Bitcoin's price decrease. This is counterintuitive. Less Bitcoin, yet Bitcoin's price is going down, right? Economics 101, supply and demand. If there is more demand and less supply of something, that is a price increase. That's not a
Yeah.
price decrease moment. So
Right.
obviously here we're seeing some level of fuckery that is, leading to Bitcoin's price decrease and not increasing. And that comes with the Kazakhstan thing. That comes with the Fed minutes inflation thing, right? The FUD that we keep talking about. So that is what's happening. And these are some big indicators right here showing why you should be bullish on Bitcoin, why you should be thinking that Bitcoin is going to be bottoming out sometime soon, whether it's by the end of this month or sometime within the next couple of weeks or so. We are going to start seeing a price increase, in my personal opinion, for Bitcoin. I
So
I just can't think that this is the top.
okay, so let's look at it then. If we are near the bottom, okay, I don't care whether you're a new investor or whether you've been in this for years like we have. You can't help but get a little bit squirmy, just a little bit, right? When price action isn't how you thought it was going to be, okay? And so, one of the best things, one of the best trades you can, one of the best things I believe that you can ever do in the crypto space is learn patience. If you are able to be patient in the crypto space, patience has paid off more for me than any trade I've ever made, right? Patience has paid off for me more than any just short-term movement, swing trade, anything like that. Patience has won, right? And so let me just ask this, Miguel. If we are towards the bottom, what are some basic ways that people coming into the market right now can capitalize on this being the bottom? Like, what does that look like? I know sometimes it seems very simple and you're like, well, just buy, but there is reason behind that. There is more that you can do. What's that look like, Miguel?
Research, education, right? Teaching yourself what is crypto, what is Bitcoin, right? Why is Bitcoin digital gold? You hear that a lot. Bitcoin, digital gold, but why? You need to understand the fundamentals of why that is, right? And whether it's by reading the book behind you and over here that I can't get, right? The Bitcoin Standard, watching our channel, watching other channels and educating yourself. The secret sauce to being successful in crypto and in Bitcoin, right, is is as simple as buying and holding, right? The problem is that there's two problems. One, people are impatient. They focus on the day-to-day price action of Bitcoin. Oh my God, Bitcoin's dropping today, right? It's over. What's going on? What do I do right now? The
Yep.
answer is nothing. You do nothing. You relax, you let it go. If it's a good buying opportunity, you buy up some more, right? So one is impatience, and they're always zoomed into the day in and day out price action. Two is greed. Everybody wants to get
Yep.
rich overnight in crypto. Yes, guys, I understand that back in the day, 2013, 2014, 2015, all the way to 2017, right? People were like, whoa, so many people made money. They also had the same problem that you had today, which is they're buying and they don't know when they're going to get rich. In hindsight, it looks amazing and they got rich
Yep.
overnight in
Yep.
hindsight. But in that moment, you don't know you're going to get rich in 6 months or in a
That's right.
year or
That's
whatever,
right.
right? So patience and check your greed. Do not try to get rich overnight. So the secret sauce to being successful, right, which is not financial advice, but it's what I do is I buy and I don't look at the prices every day. I don't look at my portfolio every day. If it's a big dip in the market and I feel comfortable and I have some capital sitting on the side doing nothing in my bank account, I buy Bitcoin and I
Yep.
and I forget about it. I do not focus on the day-to-day price action. We could have a 50% retracement tomorrow. I will not be freaking out. Would I be frustrated? Yes, because we're not robots. We have emotions, right? I'll be frustrated out of the idea of I know Bitcoin shouldn't be down 50%, right?
Yeah.
With what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
But I do not worry about price every single day. I just buy and hold, buy and hold. And in the next 5 to 6 years is where you're going to see the rewards of that buying and holding that you've been doing, right? That's
Yeah.
where you're going to see the life-changing money. That's where you're going to see the, oh man, I got rich, or oh man, I made a lot of money for myself and I
Yep.
changed my life. It doesn't happen overnight. And if you're just constantly thinking about how I can get in and out of the markets overnight to make money, you'll never succeed, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has that terrible mistake all the time.
And so let me add the third piece to that. And those are great, Miguel. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I probably could have, just because I'm just a little bit better. But, that was fantastic. I like it. I think the third piece there is game planning. And we talk about this a lot in the Debate Crypto Academy family, right? We talk
Buying and
about game.
holding, that is the game plan.
Yeah. And so it is the game plan. But if you don't, if the game plan is just, so that's absolutely a game plan, just buy and hold. But if you have a
The
game
best
plan
game
that
plan.
says, hey, here's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to pay this off. And that's your goal, right? And you have, whether it's at set percentages, you're taking profits, whether it's get up to the point where you can pull a moon bag, some sort of a game plan, no matter what it is, then you can strip away some of that emotionalism essentially that comes in with it, right? Because you can, if you're able to say, this was my plan, and then you can execute, boom, you are one step closer to absolutely succeeding. Let's look at it, Miguel. The fact is, you and I both got in 2017, probably about around the same time. So we know what it's like to buy near the top, right? I actually bought at lower prices in 2020 than I did because I was buying the pandemic. I was buying those prices, so I actually bought at lower prices then than I did in 2017. But I knew what it was like to have underwater positions. Guys, here's the deal. I think so many times people look at, and I'll say influencers, because you guys see us all the time, or you hear people talking about whether they're flexing their portfolios or not. Assumptions are made. Hey, this person's probably got a lot of Bitcoin. This person's got a lot of ETH. This person's got blah, 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 whatever, right? I don't care about that. You can be absolutely an idiot and be loaded. Da Vinci J would be, in my estimation, an example of that. But what I'm getting at is, I didn't start with a massive amount of ETH. Miguel didn't start with a massive amount of Bitcoin. What did we do? We bought consistently, right? Continued to buy even when things were down. And then we sat on our hands and we were patient. And guys, you would be amazed at what and those numbers are still available for you, looking from now to 2030, looking from now to 2028 or whatever. I think Dave just said crypto is on sale. We have a fire sale going on right now. I think and listen, this is not financial advice. I think we will look back and you will want to absolutely kick yourself for not believing heavier, believing harder, buying harder, and looking at that 2030 perspective, like Danny was just talking about. If we can look, if you could meet yourself in 2030, I think 2030 yourself right now is saying, hey, dumb, you should have been a little bit more aggressive with what you were doing. And again, none of this is financial advice. I guess the whole world could flip over on its head tomorrow and we could be screwed. But it's just not what I see.
Another thing I want to say is, it's going to hurt me to say this as a Bitcoin maxi. It's going to hurt. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, right? What you need to do.
Hold on, let me clip that. I got to notate that down. Okay, 34.18.
It doesn't need to be Bitcoin, but it better not be a bootlicking coin like XRP. So with that aside, right? This is what you do. You find crypto projects, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or let's take Bitcoin and Ethereum out of the equation. They're too expensive. I can't afford them. I'll never get a whole Bitcoin or a whole Ethereum.
Okay, gone.
Let's go full degen, right? But degen with a plan, right? Let's go back to 2017 when we didn't even know, right? And pretend that we didn't buy Bitcoin yet, we didn't buy Ethereum. Find a project, whether that's Terra Luna, Avalanche, Solana, Cardano, whatever dog coin or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that you find, do research, educate yourself about that project. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's three projects. Educate yourself as much as possible in those three projects. Understand those projects inside and out, their technology, their roadmap, their goals, right?
Yeah.
And once you say this is a great project, I see a lot of future for it. I see a lot of utility. I see what this project can do. I'm going to start dollar cost averaging into these projects. And crypto is an accumulation game. It's not about about being super diversified. That's the problem. People are over diversified in crypto. The
Yep.
biggest mistake they do is they buy this one crypto because they were promised a 10 to 100x on it by some crypto influencer. It didn't happen. They sell their position for a loss because they were impatient. They buy
Yep.
another crypto looking for a 10 to 100x, right? That doesn't work. They sell it for a loss again, right? And then they flip to another one. They keep repeating this cycle, and they're never in one project for more than a couple of months before exiting. And then when they exit that project, their previous project actually pumps, and they're like, oh man, now it's pumping. Let me sell my position and jump back into that one because I know that project is awesome. Chasing the green candle, they buy the top and they get dumped on again. So if
Yep.
you do your research, you find three projects that you really understand, not just believe in, but understand the technology, understand what this project is trying to go, and say, I'm going to dollar cost average these three projects alone and put every penny that's investable money, not money from your bills,
Right.
investable money into these three projects for the next year and a half, 3 years, whatever it is, until it has its massive moment. Because the moment will come. If the project is solid and the project does have a future, the moment will come for those projects to have massive pumps. And when they do, then you take your profits. Then
Yep.
you get that life changing money, even though it's outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the secret sauce. That's the secret sauce. There's nothing else out there besides that.
Yeah, trading is fun and sexy and all of these things, right? And we are teaching trading right now because a lot of people want to be more active in the market. And when the markets are going down, when we're going into a bear market, we can short the market. We can do all of these great things with trading, right? But Miguel, you're so right. Some of the most simple things that you can do in crypto, and I just want to encourage you guys, if you're down right now on your portfolio, please hear me. Like, right? Just take a pause, take a breath. Why are you in crypto, right? Did you get into crypto because you thought that you were going to take $100 and turn it into 10 million overnight? You might have, right? But let me just bring you back down to earth a little bit and tell you that that's not generally real life, okay? But I will tell you what is real life. Real life is doing exactly what Miguel just said and continuing to use investable capital, right? Money that you can technically afford to lose, right? Because that will make it so that you can actually not sell. And I think that's a big piece of the puzzle there. So many people jump in with maybe capital that shouldn't be, investable because they want to put as much as they can right now, all at once. We're at a good point, blah, 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 blah. And then when the prices dump, right, which should be looked at as an opportunity, you A, don't have capital to continue to buy, and B, you're freaking scared to death. You're sweating bullets because you shouldn't have put that money in the first place. So again, we're not here to give you financial advice, but what we are here to say is there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that light at the end of the tunnel is made by making good decisions right now, having a little bit of patience, and educating yourself on projects that are going to win. And there's a lot of them out there, right? And the other thing I just want to say that you need to be able to educate yourself on is just the markets as a whole, okay? The facts are if history is going to repeat itself, the majority of these altcoins, even solid projects, are going to absolutely be down in the dumps, right? Which you're like, oh man, really? Yeah, really. But if you're holding on to some of those projects that are solid A grade projects, right? If you're able to take some profits on this end of things, right? With that game plan that you've got, then you're able to buy when those projects are in the absolute dump. Guys, it doesn't take that much money to change your freaking life. I promise you it doesn't. I am living breathing proof. And so is Miguel. The amount of capital we started with versus what it's turned into, it's incredible what can happen with some patience and understanding of projects that you're buying into.
Exactly right. That's the biggest difference between the people that talk about crypto, about making money in crypto, and the people that just got in today or just got in this cycle. Is we've been in here since 2017. We've been dollar cost averaging for multiple years, right? That's the difference. It's time in the market is the difference between the people that got in this cycle and
Yep.
between us and other crypto creators. Just time, right? Is some crypto creators got in at the perfect time, and they're the exceptions, right? It's just like the people that play the lottery at the
Yeah.
right time and they win. It doesn't mean that's the model to chase. Hey, I'm just going to put $100 every week into the lottery and I'm going to become a
Right.
millionaire because my neighbor down the street did it. That's not the model. That's the exception to the rule, right?
Yeah.
The majority of the people have to spend multiple years in the markets to become profitable to the level that we're at, and it just takes time. So everybody that got in this cycle, everybody that's in our academy right now that has gotten in this cycle, the majority of them have. In 5 years, you guys are going to be where we are right now, and you're going to be saying the same thing to everyone that's getting in 2025, 2026. Yep. You're going to be telling them the same thing. Hey, all I did was buy and wait. And they're going to look at you like you're crazy.
Yes, but keep in mind, guys, there's only, and this is why we stress, right? There's only so many opportunities in life. And I think that right now is the opportunity, absolutely 100% the best opportunity ever in your life. I believe this is my personal belief you will have this year. Okay. And if you asked me when I should have bought crypto, it was before I did. That's the answer, right? That's always the answer. When should I have gotten to crypto? Well, before I did, right? And so the thing is like when you're hemming and hawing about, whether I should get in it, well, I really want it to drop to 43 flat or 42.6 or whatever. Guys, listen, not financial advice, but you're going to look back at that. And if you're going to, let's say you miss because you ultimately wanted to buy at 42.6 and it only dropped to 43, you are going to freaking kick yourself in the butt for not making that extra purchase. You can mark it down, write it down, today's date. I'm telling you, because I look at what I have now and I look at what I could have done, right? What I could have done. And even still, I don't do it, but I do. I look at it and I'm like, really, Nick? Really, dude? Like you believed, right? So at any event, I guess I just want to give you guys encouragement. It's there to get. You've just got to do it.
It's perfect, right? I saw Bitcoin at $200, didn't buy it.
Yep.
I saw Bitcoin at $600, didn't buy it.
Yep.
I saw Bitcoin at 1,200, didn't buy it. I saw Bitcoin at 5,000, didn't buy it, right? I saw Bitcoin multiple times for multiple years, didn't buy. Oh, it just dropped 50%. Oh, it's at an all-time high. I'm not going to buy it now. Oh, I'm not going to buy it this time. Oh,
every excuse.
And every time I was wrong. Every time I thought I was going to go lower, it would go higher. Every time I thought I was going to go higher, it would go lower, right? And the only thing that was the solution was, hey, I'm just going to buy it. And if it goes lower, I'm going to buy some more. And if it goes up, I'm going to throw a party. But when it goes back down, I'm going to buy more again. And I'm just going to wait and see what happens, right? Yeah. That's literally the simplest solution that I came up to myself. I didn't have any investing education. I didn't go and read 5 books about it and become a pro investor before getting into the market. And I didn't look for a specific price. And I didn't do all this TA. I just said, I'm going to buy Bitcoin and I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to buy some more if it drops. I did the same thing with Ethereum. I did the same thing with Cardano. I did the same thing with Litecoin and so forth and so on.
Yeah. We are still at the beginning, Danny. Mass adoption hasn't happened, and when it does, enjoy the money. You know what, Danny? I don't know that I could say it any better. It's starting. It's happening. People are piling in, but it is going to get wild, and when it does, it's going to be wild. So I hope that you guys are ready. Crypto fam, listen. We appreciate each and every person that's in here. You guys come in here day in and day out when we're on here and give us support. And you got the chat all fired up. Those of you that are in the academy, Guys, we love each and every one of you. Listen, the reality is we love every single person in here and then some. If you guys are looking to be a part of that, right, we have debatecrypto.academy. We would love to have you. We've got a full 101 course, right, that's continuing to grow. We're giving away a year worth of market cipher to somebody in the group. If you're just looking to get educated and get involved, we would love to have you. We're teamed up with Crypto Jebb now. We've got Altcoin Daily is going to be on the show on Friday. We've got a lot of names that you guys are probably watching on YouTube that ultimately we are becoming close friends with. And we would love for you guys to come and join us for the ride. So, Crypto
And
fan,
little insider scoop dropping right here. Our name is Debate Crypto, and we've had a few debates on here. But in a very short period of time, in the next couple of weeks, we will be having official presidential style debates on the channel with guests, and we're going to have a full on debate with a certain topic, going back and forth, rebuttaling that topic, and see who the winner is. Official presidential debates are coming.
Yeah, guys, I'm super excited for that. It's the reason that we started the channel. We started the channel and called it Debate Crypto because Miguel and I love to banter back and forth on the phone. And it seems like when you guys like hear us banter back and forth and bust on each other and argue about things or whatever the case may be, you guys seem to really like it. And it's why we started the channel. So just for your reference, FYI, coming up, guys, it's gonna be dope. We are gonna have people on. Sometimes it might just be me and Miguel, but we are bringing on guests. We are trying to selectively pick those guests that are for specific topics, and it's gonna be, man, just stand by, guys. We're gonna have timers on it. We've got it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a presidential style debate, and we are really,
if you guys are excited to see a Bitcoin maxi take on an XRP maxi, stay tuned. It's coming.
It is coming, guys. So, Crypto fam, if nobody's told you before today, we love you guys. We hope you guys have a blessed evening. And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.